Welcome to Timber&Terra. I'm Glenn, and I am up here on my 45-acre woodlot, which is a mostly hardwood woodlot, as opposed to where I've been working behind my house, which is mostly softwood. Making roads. Actually, it's quite a bit more snow here than I anticipate. I think there's more snow here than I have back at my house, which is only about 1.5 miles, 2 miles from here. But this is uphill, so very elevation dependent. This is the road that I cut out last year, maybe a year and a half ago. And I went through the excavator late this fall and smoothed it out. It's quite a downhill slope once you get towards the ridge, and I feel a little bit lucky to go down there and get back. Like I said, the snow's pretty deep. You can see the tractor doesn't have a whole lot of clearance. It is not a skidder. It is a tractor, but thankfully I made it out without getting myself stuck or sliding into a tree or something stupid like that. So I tracked back and forth here. You can see here I even dug up a little mud. Even though it's been super cold, this blanket of snow is a very good insulator. So I have marked this out. So before I do any work, at least on video, I'll review my plan here, review the road that I did put in already and where the next 2 roads are going and how that's all going to work with the plot of land that I have here. So how I have marked this out is with a green ribbon, which is sort of an approximate location of where the road should go. As I go through and follow those flags, I'll determine exactly where the road will go. Primarily because of what trees might be in the way, what decent trees that I can avoid cutting. Or when I get down the other side, has a steep slope, I'll have to decide if I want to go straight down or if I want to do a switchback to lessen the incline. But yeah, the snow right here is up to my knees, which makes for a little bit of a challenge to dig out the base of a tree to cut it. But that's fine. It's light and fluffy. It's not like it's real heavy snow, so you just stomp it down. Normally that's enough. So let's go look at that map. I'll do a little work here, and then we'll come back when there's some more substantial progress that I can share with you. This is the map of the woodlot. It's 45 acres. This is the landing area, so where I'm staging the firewood logs. This section of road here, which I made basically along here, this was a switchback. I'll explain that in a second. And that road ends just about here is where I stopped. So I cleared this the last couple winters, and then this past fall I went through with the excavator and smoothed it out, removed big rocks, stumps, things like that. So you can perhaps make out what looks like this little dark area right along here. This is sort of a ridge. So if I was to go straight down here, it would have been very steep. So that's why I did the switchback. And I will likely do the same thing here and here, although I don't think it's quite as steep. I'll evaluate that once we get there. But the section that we're working on here today is this section here, and at least make the turn to go down this section here. I'm anticipating that I'll use this same road and continue on straight to make this, which is the northern road. So I call this the middle road. This is actually north up here. So this is the southern road, the middle road that I plan on doing now, and then the northern road will be at some times later. Now this is really just as straight as I could draw with my mouse. It's not how I actually plan the road to go. Down here I want to connect them all, and then this will just be make it easy, like if I have my logging trailer with me to make the turns easy without having to do like a 90-degree turn or something like that. So that's the plan. We'll see how far we get today, and the plan here is to continue on and if possible connect at least this down here this winter. This will take some time, and then who knows when I'll get to the northern road. Well, I have spent probably the last better part of a couple hours 2 full tanks of gas with the little steel 261. All I've been doing is cutting small brush. You can see all the piles, small trees, 2-3 inches in diameter. The biggest I cut might have been 4 inches breast height, something like that. But it gives me a real clear view of where we are, because initially when I was looking at this, because there's my green flag sort of straight ahead, up there at the road is where it takes a turn to the right and parallels the road that we already did. So this is the middle road. If you remember from the discussion of the map, this road will probably continue straight ahead and hit the far northern road and then parallel this. But what I thought is this road is going to go, you know, I think that's the basswood where that green flag is, that's sort of leaning to the right a bit. Thought I was going to go either right through there to the right, but as it turns out, for a couple of reasons, I'm better off going there to the left. You can see it's sort of cleared. So, I mean, it's actually a relatively clear road except for just a handful of these larger trees, which I'm going to cut now. So this is mostly going to be firewood. Even that dead one there, which I think is a hornbeam, which this one is, it still has a lot of BTUs and it's very hard wood. This one here that fell down I think is also a hornbeam. So when I was limbing it up, even though it's been down for who knows how long, it is still very sound, meaty wood. I'll probably also take down those 2 fir trees. And then when I get up there, a couple of reasons for me going to the left is there are 2 yellow birch trees, large yellow birch trees, that I did not want to take down quite yet. I'm not sure the value of them are. One of them is right here to the right, just to the left of that green flag, and then the yellow one, another yellow birch, is straight ahead. So the road is going to go to the left of those and then sort of curve around to the right just beyond that second yellow birch. So it's a relatively open road. It's amazing how just removing the small understory can make a difference with the road. It's really no different than, say, going that way. If you took all those tiny trees out, you could easily make what looks like a road, with the exception of a handful of larger trees that might be in the way. So let's take these out. I think I'm going to have to take this stump down as well. I'll grab onto this and yank this out with a cable. I thought there's another down tree there. I thought I was going to have to deal with that. But since the road is going here further to the left, I don't need to. to be a little bit of a hole there. Yeah, you can only tell so much when there's 18 inches, 2 feet of snow. So this is that first yellow birch that I was talking about. It looks kind of ugly from the outside, but it doesn't mean it's bad on the inside. I just don't know, but I'm not going to take it down now. So the plan here is I'll take down this, which I think is a hard maple. That is, I think that's another hornbeam. So take those two down, and should be able to make this corner. I had thought of here, I don't know if you can see, but there's 3 green ribbons right there. So that's where the road sort of goes that way. So I was thinking of making the corner here right next to this yellow birch and going to the right of this other yellow birch, going in there. But then I was thinking, you can see my tracks, thinking I want to make a wider turn, come up here. I'll go up here and probably see, hopefully you can see the line of green ribbons. So that is sort of the straight road that goes parallel with the southern road that I've already done, and parallel with the northern road, which will be for a later date. So I have these 2 firs that I can take down. But outside of those 4 trees, it's a nice clear shot from the landing, and then we'll make the turn and go that way. I think there's plenty of room there. I don't see any good trees there. Some good firewood trees, but nothing in the way of, you know, potential saw logs like this yellow birch. And that is the nature of this road clearing in the wintertime, well, anytime I guess. pretty dense forest, at least here. It gets a bit thinner the further back we go. But there's still going to be probably more instances than not of these trees just sort of getting hung up. Generally what I'm doing is cutting the smaller trees, so they just don't have enough weight to sort of force themselves to the ground. And I end up pulling them out. So we'll see what we get. This is going to be firewood. So I cut firewood into 16-foot lengths. So I'll limb these up. I'll see if I get one 16-foot stick or maybe two from some of them. I don't want to get them too small. It's just a lot of handling for not a lot of BTUs. I may drive back there as far as I can just to sort of pack this road in, allow it to freeze. You can see here with the thick pack of snow, even though it's been so cold, still turning up mud. Unreal. And that is just mud. So yeah, it'd be nice if I can get the road to freeze as I work my way back. Boy, what a nice day. So yeah, it's not nearly as smooth when you remove the snow. There's a big rock up there I ran over. I gotta clip these off because I don't want that to puncture a tire or do something else. I guess that broke off. So the snow is disturbed enough, it's packed enough, so I think a couple of cold nights, return here again, and it should improve with time. So we'll pick it up again later. Well, we are back out here. It's actually a couple days later, a little bit cooler. I don't know if this is a stump or what this was. It seems rather hard. Anyhow, I've backed up and down here a couple times. So I never did cut these two firs that I wanted to cut that I mentioned last time, but that's fine. I'm going to cut them down now, and actually I have use for them. Just before the tractor, just this side of the tractor, there are two areas that are rather wet and sort of quite a dip. So I thought I'd actually cut these into length, sort of make a little mini corduroy just to hopefully bridge over that dipsy doodle. Hopefully it'll freeze in and make for a better, at least a temporary road until I smooth it out with the excavator, you know, when summertime comes. Well, it doesn't want to fall in the direction that I want it to because there's a couple big branches from that yellow birch hanging it up. So the stump is disconnected from the stem. So I'm thinking it's going to fall this way, but it'll probably get hung up in those branches. So it does. I'll just cut that down. Well, that worked out well, since I had it hooked to the tree anyhow. Must have just dragged it down to where I need to use it rather than lugging them down from up here. This other fir is actually leaning the other way, which again will work out well because I'll cut it. It'll get hung up there, grab it with the cable and do the same thing. So I'll limb this one, cut it to the 10 to 12 foot pieces that I need, stick it in where I need, and I'll show you what I'm doing. And I think I might as well make this into 16-foot log. They're kind of small, you know, 3 inches, 4 inches in diameter, but it's hard maple. Don't have to split it. It's good firewood. So these are a little bit of an angle to the road because best I can tell, that's sort of the direction of that swale that I'm trying to fill in. So the other area, perhaps a bit more obvious because there's a bunch of mud here, is right here. Not really too far from there. I may put one more on this side of that one. This one here is angled slightly the opposite direction. So there's a couple small fir trees right around here I think I'll use. So I'll just do that and we'll come back when everything is said and done and then we'll give it a try. Well, I guess they sort of work. You can see here, I probably need a lot more because that's quite a divot right here. But I don't know. I mean, this just takes a lot of work. There's a lot of time involved with this little bit. So, and the time I spend doing that is the time I am not spending working on my road. So, I think I'll leave that good for now. I think it's better than it was. Maybe it'll freeze in over time and be better. I'm not sure. I don't have really any experience with these corduroy type roads or fixes. Oh, I did determine what this brown spot was with the help of my chainsaw. It's a big rock, and I remembered it after the fact. Nice big rock. Okay, well, I still have those two pieces of hard maple to drag out, but I'd like to make some more progress since I haven't had any progress yet, except for those two fir trees stumped there. So, with this corner, and that what I think could be a very nice yellow birch tree being the inside of the corner, I want to make this corner as wide as possible. The downside to having that tree there on the inside corner is when you make the corner and you're hauling a twitch or even a trailer, that's likely to get clipped or bumped or bruised or scraped. So, I've identified these trees here I'm going to take down. Take these down. I think just one's going to be firewood, that what I believe is a hard maple. Decent sized tree. All the other ones are either small or softwood. This one I may keep as well, another hard maple, about 5 inches in diameter. So that's a pretty straight shot up here. There's that yellow birch. And then sort of make the corner. I might even make it wide enough. I do not want to take this down. So there's a bigger hard maple, so that's sort of my boundary. I may take that one down. And we'll go from there. You can see the green ribbons there, I hope. Basically 90 degrees to this road here. Just try to make this curve as gentle as I can so we don't hit hard against that birch. The small trees have all been removed and cut up, set off to the side. So I have, as far as stuff I'm going to salvage for firewood, I don't need to take that one down, even though I sort of cleared at the bottom. I realized afterwards I don't need to take that one down. So I'll take this one down, that one down by my chainsaw, and the one to the right. That'll start us making the turn. Pinch my saw there. I was trying to cut it off. I thought the wedge that I had in there would hold the tree up, but it did not. I don't think there's much holding it, so I'm going to wrap the cable around it, hitch it so that it twists. More likely to spin off whatever fibers are holding that there, and hopefully not damage my saw. Well, that didn't go really as planned. Not quite down on the ground yet, but almost. Nothing was damaged. So I could probably, I think that's an ash that it's leaning against. I could cut that down, it would fall to the ground, but I think what I'll do instead is take the first 16-foot log here, and then if I need to, I can use my snatch block against this tree and pull the rest of it down without having to mess with that ash. Well, it's looking like a woods road. Now is a good time for me to get some coffee and some calories. When I come back, I think the first thing I'll do is try to do something about these divots here, because you probably noticed dragged the winch on there because the tires set down so much, particularly over there. So I'll do something here. Maybe it's laying them 90 degrees. There's plenty of softwood here, small softwood that I can take down with no injury or damage to the health of the forest. Okay, well, I fortified these deep ruts There's some young ash. Put lengthwise, and then sort of some smaller ones crosswise. I didn't think I needed to go the whole width of the road. Got some fir, and then up here, actually found a little clump of basswood right there. So there's one standing basswood tree. Same thing here, a bunch of crosses underneath, or sort of, I guess, in the direction of travel, and then some crosses on top. I'm guessing when I ride over it, the snow will crush, and this should rest on those. So I guess now we'll try it out and make it back, try to finish up our corner. Alright, so I've made some progress. I took down some small trees. That stump was just the stump we cut earlier. I just cut it low to the ground, so there's no issue with riding over it. So I'm going to go to the right of that maple. Eventually we're going to take that sort of twin maple. That's the larger one. But for now I have that hornbeam one, this maple 2, and that maple 3 to take down. And I can back up here, and then we'll work on the bigger trees, and I think that'll be a nice easy corner. So well, a little bit of change of heart. Initially I thought that maple there was going to stay. I was going to move the road to the right, take down that twin-headed maple there. You can see the green ribbons basically right in line here. But so I was cutting a bunch of small trees over there. You can see my footprints. So there's the green line, but when I get up here, I said, boy, if I have to be way over here, you can see the tractor is in line with that. So it's not quite a 90-degree turn yet, but if I was to make a corner there with any kind of a twitch, I would rub hard against that birch, I think. So if I'm able to move myself over here, instead of where I was, I think that makes that turn much better. So I will sacrifice this really nice maple. I mean, it's not perfect. It's got some sweep in the stem. But I'll leave that. Not that it's any better. Just that I'll leave it. And that maple there, which is probably just as good, just a bit smaller, be able to go around that way. And then eventually we'll meet up with the green ribbons. So the first thing I'm going to do is take down this hornbeam. It has a hard lean towards us, so I'm going to try to fall the top into that near that brush pile to make easy cleanup. I'll take this misshapen maple down. That should go down easily once that is down that way. And then one of the reasons, the primary reason I wanted to take that first, is that I should have a clear shot with this that away. The lean is in the wrong direction. It's leaning towards the left when I really want to fell it towards the right. As you can see, maybe the clouds moving. I hope the wind is in my favor. but I should be able to move it that way with wedges. The butt is large enough where I'll have some leverage. So let's take down these two little junk trees first, and then this maple. Well, that wasn't too bad. It went down fairly well. My cuts didn't match up the best. This side was fine, but that side I got quite a bit higher over here. Oh well, it worked. So what I'm going to have to do, I think, to make it easier on myself, I don't want to cut this stump down anyhow, is cut this down, make this easier to slide over. I have 3 logs right here, including this tree. 2 16-footers there. So I'll hook everything up, just drag this out enough to let the top fall on the ground, cut this up, and probably just make 2 16-foot firewood logs. And we'll haul those out and then get an opportunity to drive back here with the tractor. Another side benefit to moving the road over like I did is this big hump, I think, is a big rock. So where the road was gonna go, I was gonna have to sort of go over that rock. I guess it could be a stump. I see some wood there, but I think it's a rock. But now that we've moved over here, I think I can actually go between the rock and this fir, which the fir I can take down anyhow if I need to. It's not a big deal. All right, well, I'll chain these up and drag it down. So I chose not to cut this stump down yet because I really don't have good access to it. I got a hook, so hopefully it rolls this way a little bit. And between this little step here and the sort of the leftover hinge of the notch, hopefully it rolls over that just fine. Okay, so there's the tree I want to try to avoid hitting. I guess this will be our first test of the corner. So I'll limb this up and then we'll drag these out. So I did end up getting 3 firewood logs out of that last big maple, so that's a 48-foot long stem. I think I have a better chance of missing that birch tree if I move the tractor down and winch it one more time before I lift it up, because if I lifted it up now and just drove out, I'm sure that this would hit midsection. But if I skid it out, go down say another 15-20 feet, then skid it out, even though you're pulling at a bit of an angle, because this log is so long, it tends to sort of go in the direction of the stem before it'll finally make a turn. So I think I have a better chance of missing that birch doing it that way. So that's really as far as I can go as far as making the wide turn. So it is going to bump against the base of that tree, but I think it'll be minimal. Well, this little set here fared quite well. That one got jumbled up a bit. Yeah, it would be better if it would have some snowpack on top of it. You know, we're supposed to get more snow here in the next day or so. Some warm weather in a few days with another wet snow type storm, and then cooler weather. So that should really help this out, freeze that up, and hopefully freeze those in place. Well, let's take a ride up. We'll check out that new corner, or basically take the tractor as far as we can go before we run into other trees that we have to take down. Well, I think we have a good start. A nice pile of firewood logs started. So we'll continue this on future videos, but I appreciate you hanging along for this one. Hope you enjoyed it, and I appreciate it very much. Hopefully you stay tuned.